that there is a good relationship between students and teacher. There is a good classroom environment. The students participate, and there's room for a safe place, because students, and as far as we could observe, they weren't afraid to participate or to give their answers, or to say something bad, pronounce something bad. We didn't see any students mocking them or saying disrespectful things. So I think they have a good environment to participate, and that allows them to improve their English, to participate, to actually learn in the classroom, and also facilitates a lot the work of the teacher. Also, the teacher applies a lot of strategies like praisings. Every time the students say something either good or bad, with any interference, the teacher was like, good, maybe that's not related with the content, but good interference, you're doing well, great, you're contributing to the class. So every kind of participation was okay. And also reinforcement, recast. The teacher in any moment was like, no, you said this wrong, so I'm giving you the right answer. Not was like a teacher reacted like, okay, if you said something that was wrong, grammatically wrong, and he repeated in a good way, but without saying the student that he was wrong. So the student consciously could realize the mistake, but without the teacher explicitly saying that he was wrong, he or she was wrong. In this case, he, because it was a boys' school, right? Also, the teacher applied question checks. He all the time was asking if they had a good comprehension of the instructions. He makes sure that the students had the right instruction to proceed with the activity. All of the time that was the case. Okay, now about the strategies that we could use in this classroom. We like we have said, I think the classroom had a good teacher, and the classroom was a very good environment. The class went smoothly. So, but we would like to improve this, or help them to improve, by applying more group dynamics, because as far as we could observe in the 2 or 3 classes that we could observe, was that most of the interaction was between teacher students and students teacher. There was little student interaction, so we would like to improve that. We would suggest like applying more group dynamics, group work, pairs, peer mediation. That would be a really good tool, because the conditions of the classroom allow them to work in groups. They had a good relationship, a safe environment, a good level of English. So we think that they could make good use of these group dynamics. This will allow them to participate, to improve their pronunciation, because since they didn't talk much among each other, they weren't that fluent regarding pronunciation. They understand, but they cannot talk that much. So it will be very helpful for them to talk among each other. And this group dynamics will be excellent for to improve that. Um, the peer mediation, it's important too, because they could get feedback from each other, and like they can learn from each other. Finally, key learnings about classroom management that will guide our future practice as a teacher. This is what we would like to apply in the future, or what we take from all these classes, what we have learned so far. First of all, witness. We think it's very important to be able to prevent um, disruptive behavior. That ability to be constantly aware of what is going on in the classroom and to act before the situation presents. It is very important and it's very good management. Secondly, clear rules. We think that this is very important too, because that way teacher and students can get to an agreement about how they want to be, this classroom, how they want to um, deal with any kind of disrespectful behavior, what we understand for wrong or bad or good, right? It's important that teacher and students participate in this, not just teacher to impose the rules, but students need to be aware of it and to be part of the creation of the rules. Um, then democratic teaching. We would like to be this kind of teacher, not just to impose things, but make students participate of this process of making the class, of suggesting, also learn from our students to be humble enough to accept our mistakes whenever we make any mistake in classroom, to be able to just say, oops, I made a mistake, it's okay, we are humans, it happens, right? um to not be just a figure of authority, but be like facilitators of knowledge, like we mentioned before. And finally, metacognition. We think this is a very important tool, and metacognition can help students to become more independent, more autonomous, by making them realize how they learn, what what is good for them to learn, are their strategies that benefit each one of them, because not all of us learn the same way, and we would like to apply that too, right? To apply many different activities that can be good for any kind of ability that our students have. And it's important to have this metacognition so students can identify what is good for them, how they learn, and this can help them to be autonomous. And finally, we also would like to um, apply something that the teacher we observed does every classroom, at the end of every class, sorry, and that he will ask students what they learned, what was the easiest thing they learned, what was the hardest thing they had to learn, or what they didn't learn. I think that it's important because at the end of every class, we need like a reminder that what we learned, to identify what we learned, um, to realize that we indeed learned something, even if it was a small thing. Like it is make us aware that we actually learned something that day, and to take that home, maybe, hopefully, and to realize that, yeah, I did something today in the English class. I think that we think that it is important that the students feel like they are learning. They feel then important. For them to feel important. Well, and now that he got the references slide, and that will be it. Thank you, Ludwig, for listening to us. And I hope this presentation was okay regarding the situations. Thank you.